I've now completed days 10 and 11 on the carnivore diet, and I wanted to give you guys today a little bit of practical, just what the day looks like for me on the carnivore diet. Now, after reading Dr. Shawn Baker's book, he talks about eggs. Now, some people can handle eggs. I'm one of those guys where I can handle, I've been eating eggs, 5 to 6 eggs every single morning for decades. And all of the mainstream science goes back, first of all, they go back and forth on, are eggs healthy or are they not? At one point they compared 1 egg to the equivalent of 3 cigarettes. So it's completely mind-boggling to me how our governing health body can make those kind of equivalents. But the point is that eggs, in my view, are completely healthy, right? We know for a fact that they are one of the most bioavailable sources of protein that you can possibly get in, right? Which means that your body can recognize the protein, absorb it, assimilate, and utilize that protein very, very effectively, better than any other protein that's out there. And that's full yolk eggs, right? They are high in fat. Now, a study came out in Harvard years ago that said that the fat in cholesterol, and cholesterol in eggs, they're large lipid LDL cholesterol, which means what they assumed was the bad cholesterol, the LDL that makes you sick, are small lipids, whereas the ones in eggs are large lipids, which actually clean out the arteries and keep your arteries feeling healthy, right? There are other studies that have shown that the human body should be able to deal with cholesterol very, very easily. The problem that we've had as a society is that we have beaten up and inflamed circulatory systems, and it's the circulatory system that is dysfunctional, that allows the lipids to collect on the arterial walls, thus causing hardening arterial or atherosclerosis. And that's really, where the contention is in the medical community, because so many medical professionals are still, they're not reading the new literature. They've been indoctrinated into what they used to know, and they're unwilling to go outside of their box. So, I am willing to go outside the box, right? Like I said in the intro to this whole thing, this goes against everything that I was ever taught. So, I'm experimenting with this, and honestly, I feel really good on this diet. My energy level is up. My inflammation is down. I'm sleeping through the night. I don't need energy drinks throughout the day. I was literally doing a 5-hour energy and 2 Celsiuses, sometimes 3 Celsiuses throughout the day, on top of my morning coffee. That is insane. Now, granted, my day starts at 4 or 5 in the morning, depending on the day and what client I have that day, but yeah, and then ends sometimes at 9, even 10 o'clock at night. So I have really long days. And I think that us as a society, we somehow came into this agreement that being tired is unacceptable, right? So I'm kind of relearning how to be tired and be okay with being tired, because I've just put my body through a lot. There's a lot of physical demand, and your body, that's how your body recovers. So I'm relearning my relationship with sleep, and that's been a crazy part of this journey as well over the last week and a half. It's nice that I'm actually getting really restful sleep, but I'm still not giving myself enough sleep. I've been getting anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sleep, but even after 8 hours, I wake up in the morning and I'm tuckered out, so that's one of the biggest things. I've noticed that drinking water first thing in the morning is so pivotal. That's what wakes me up. So if you listen to Dr. Andrew Huberman's podcast, he talks about drinking your 32 ounces of water and then waiting at least 90 minutes before ingesting any caffeine, and that should help to be able to curb the caffeine cravings throughout the day. But when you go caffeine first thing in the morning, then it's hard on the body, and your body you crash, and then you feel like you need more and more caffeine. And I think that's exactly what was happening to me. Is I was waking up in the morning, I would have a 5-hour energy literally sitting right next to my my bathroom sink. I'd brush my teeth, down a 5-hour energy. That's how I kicked off every single day. But I don't do that anymore. And what's weird is that it was such a natural thing. And now I'm over the caffeine headaches and all that stuff, and I feel really good. So, practical, where the rubber meets the road, what kind of foods have I been eating? So, breakfast, boom, I got eggs and bacon. I've got 4 slices of thick cut regular pork bacon and 6 eggs. Now, I've not been wasting the bacon grease. That was one of the things that I was having a hard time. We actually learned I was giving the bacon grease. We have 3 dogs. Right? I was giving the bacon grease at the end of the day, or at the end of my cooking. I'd pour a little bit into each one of the dogs' dishes, and their bellies did not like that. So we have a Great Dane Lab mix, and we woke up one morning and she had just had diarrhea all over the house. And she's a big dog, so these were big piles. Luckily we have tile, we were able to get it all cleaned up. But if you're not used to utilizing that fat, you're going to find ways to repurpose it rather than just throwing it out. So what I've been doing is I've actually been collecting the bacon grease rather than just throwing out. And instead of using the old Pam cooking spray, the aerosol, I think it's vegetable or canola oil, to coat my pan, I'm now using the just a teaspoon of bacon grease to coat the pan if I'm going to cook my eggs. And that keeps it carnivore. And there's a lot of the canola oil, the seed oils that we know are just killing us as a society. So it's really important to me to eliminate the seed oils from the diet, to really make this a true thing. So or a true test over these 90 days. And this is going to be enough to satisfy me. I usually cook this and I'm not even hungry anymore. I used to be hungry first thing in the morning and I would need to eat like right now. My hunger is actually gotten to the point where I don't really need to eat until 9 or even 10 o'clock in the morning. And so then my next meal, I end up having some form of steak. This last week they had beef chuck and sirloin on sale, and while that shifted my macronutrient profile to where I was on ribeye steak, I was getting roughly 34 to 36% protein, and the rest was fat. And on the sirloin and the chuck, now I'm 44-45% protein and the rest is fat. But I'm noticing on those leaner cuts of meat, my energy level isn't as good throughout the day. I'm needing to take, a 15-minute cat nap right around 3 or 4 o'clock. And then yesterday I was just I need to treat myself. So I went to the store, and even though it was $20 a pound, I got a couple pounds of ribeye, of boneless ribeye. Went home, cooked that up, and holy smokes, it was my body was craving it. Normally, I wouldn't like all of the fat on my meat. Like that was one of the things that before this, again, I was conditioned, eliminate all the fat. Fat's bad. And it's crazy to me that now I'm craving the fat. Like the fat that's on a ribeye is like, I'm enjoying it. And that's just kind of a cool little side note, you know, take it for what you will. But so I had a ribeye for lunch, or pardon me, I had beef chuck for lunch, and then I had a ribeye for dinner. And dinner usually happens around 7 o'clock. So lunch is 1 to 2, and then dinner is around like 7. And I'm getting roughly 13 to 16 ounces, so almost a pound of meat per sitting. Now we know that every time that we eat, we spike insulin levels in the body, which was actually really kind of a weird thing that I didn't expect when I looked at my blood work, seeing that my blood sugar, that my blood glucose levels were totally normal, even though I hadn't had a carb in more than a week at that point. So it's interesting to me how the body goes through this gluconeogenesis. It's the gluco meaning glucose, neo meaning new, and genesis being the creation of, right? So gluconeogenesis is the creation of new glucose. And so your body finds the fuel sources that you're giving it, whether that be fat or whether that be protein, you know, whatever it is. Preferably it's not protein, right? That's a really hard energy system for your body to convert into energy, right? Your body wants to use that for rebuilding. But how your body's able to use fat and convert it into blood sugar, it's incredible how the body works. So yeah, I'm stoked on this diet so far. It's been really easy. One of the things that I treated myself with last night outside of the ribeye is I bought some just plain old chicken wings, right? There's no sauce, no breading, no, like, they're not pre-cooked or anything. They're just frozen chicken wings. I threw those in the air fryer for like 30 minutes, flipped them at the halfway point, and holy smokes, just put a little salt on those things, and that was a nice little like Netflix and chill Friday night couch treat. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm finding new ways to get along with this diet, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm trying not to let that bias seep into my decision-making process by the end of this 90 days, but we'll see how it goes. All right, thanks guys.